Hello, Marco again, and in this month's video I'm going to talk about something I noticed happening in Pokemon fanfics and webcomics. They make the age of becoming a Pokemon trainer in their stories higher than 10, which I am actually happy about because I wouldn't trust a 10-year-old with cooking an egg without a little bit of adult supervision, let alone making a cross-country trip in nature with deadly creatures that can breathe fire and chop down trees in half without a sweat. Now a little explanation about the Pokemon franchise for those people who don't understand what I'm talking about here. Because in the Pokemon games and anime, the age of becoming a Pokemon trainer is 10 years old. They did make it a little bit older in the Pokemon Sun and Moon games, but 11 years old is still too young for me to let a child make a cross-country trip with deadly Pokemon. Just read some of the Pokédex entries, they are literally insane. I know that Pokemon franchise is aimed for young children, although a major part of the Pokemon fanbase isn't that young anymore, and they want the characters in the games to be relatable with its target audience. That is understandable. Now I'm going to talk about the reasons why people age up their Pokemon trainer OCs in their fanfics and webcomics. Because in the fanfics and webcomics that I read, they have aged up some of their OC trainers from 14 to 21 years old. If they are older than that, they almost always have been training and traveling for a long time. Some of the in-story reasons I read in fanfics and webcomics is that a leak raised the age requirement to become a Pokemon trainer, or because of schooling or accidents that happened to a young trainer on their journey, and other reasons. These are nice explanations that recognize the canon age and also tell you about the big flaws of letting 10-year-olds travel in a world where, I'm sorry for repeating it so much, there are Pokemon that can literally kill you in more than one way without even trying. Some other fanfics or comics don't even bother with an explanation and just say that it's always been this way in their stories' worlds. But those are only the in-story reasons the writers have aged up their OC Pokemon trainers, but they have other not in-story reasons behind the aging up of their Pokemon trainer OCs. I think some writers age up their characters is because they feel old and want their characters age a little bit close to their own age, but don't take this reason super serious, it's something I made up. Now I'm going to talk about the reasons why people age up their Pokemon OC trainers. There are many reasons why the writers of fanfics and fancomics age up their Pokemon trainer OCs. I asked around online and these are the reasons I got. The first reaction to my question I'm going to talk about is the answer that fanfic writer The Big Shot gave me. His reasoning behind turning his Pokemon trainer OC Caleb 17 is because it gives him more possibilities story-wise. You can do a lot more mature stuff that falls within the realm of safer work with a 17-year-old than with a 10-year-old. And you also don't offend people with making an underage child do bad stuff. This fanfic writer's reason for making his trainer OCs older is to make them more believable, because just like me, he thinks 10-year-olds are not old enough to make such trips, but he goes a little bit deeper. He thinks they aren't physically and mentally fit or mature enough to go on such trips. But he also told me that he thought that children that age couldn't raise wild creatures like Pokemon themselves. The last answer I got was from this DeviantArt user. Although she doesn't read or write Pokemon fanfics herself, she still gave a few good reasons. The first one is backstory. She told me that 10-year-olds don't have much life experience. If you make your OC older, you can give them more backstory and thus more character development. 2. Variety. You can do more with trainers and OCs that have different ages and have different life experiences. 3. It's easier to write. People who write Pokemon fanfics are teens and adults, and those people don't always know what it was like when they were 10-year-olds, so they go to an age closer to themselves to make it easier for them to write the story. These are some of the reasons why other people make their OCs older in their fanfics and webcomics. In the description of this video you shall find links to fanfics and comics where the Pokemon trainer OCs are older than the normal 10 years old, which I hope you shall like. Now, the final words. I hope by seeing this video that you are not the only person that thinks that the age to start a Pokemon journey being 10 years old in the Pokemon franchise is weird. There are a lot of creative people that had the same idea and decided to make stories with more sensibly aged Pokemon trainers. But just because it can be sensible to make your OC older doesn't mean that you can't make your OC 10 years old for your story. Because making your trainer OC too old is also not a good idea. A Pokemon trainer should have a youthful air around it. I hope you like this video and please like and subscribe, share this on social media and read the fanfics and comics I put in the description.